All right, so this video is about my biggest regrets as a footballer, and it serves as a list of things that many of you guys watching can actually use as a list of things not to do, and it'll save you loads of time, effort, money, pain, suffering, and lead you towards a career of joy, happiness, and success on the football pitch. And basically, also, this video is me talking to myself. Maybe, let's say, 15 years ago when I was 13. Right now, I'm 28. I know you want to be a champion so bad. I know you want to win. I know you want to train all day long. But I need you to listen to me and understand that a lot of the things that you're being told is good for you is actually bad for you. And first, let's talk about your sleep. And I know it's not a hot topic for many of you guys hearing this, but your sleep is the most important thing. It's the only time of day where you're going to recover and you're going to grow and develop and get taller and grow muscle, and your skin's gonna heal and your hair's gonna grow longer. All this stuff. Most of you guys kill your sleep every single day. So in order to get proper high-level sleep, you need to go out in the morning and get sunlight on your eyes and your skin. Ideally, you get barefoot and be grounded somewhere, not in the big urban jungle, but in an actual nature setting, on grass, dirt, sand, the beach, whatever. You need that to create melatonin, the body's strongest recovery hormone. Stronger than any kind of drug or supplement. Melatonin. You need good sunlight and to be grounded on natural ground. You need to avoid fake blue light after sunset. And so that's going to trickle into other topics about video games and food, because it's much better if you eat a big breakfast than procrastinating your workout all the way until 8 p.m. and then you eat at 10:30 and then you play video games until 2 a.m. and you go to bed late, and the whole cycle goes over and over and over again, and you're aging faster than you should be. You're aging way faster than you should be. You're getting older faster than you should be. The quality of your sleep will always beat the 8 hours. High quality sleep is more important, higher priority, than how many hours you sleep. If one person sleeps from 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. and the other person also sleeps from 10 p.m. to 6 a.m., but the second person, they have more melatonin being secreted, meaning being released, their sleep's better. And of course, there's many other things going into that, but for now, focus on sunlight, melatonin. You make it in the morning in sunlight and you release it at night in the presence of darkness. So you need quality sleep. It beats the 8 hours. Going to bed at 1 a.m. and waking up at 9 is baloney. Don't do it. It's nonsense. It's garbage. Okay, number 2, food. Avoiding soda, avoiding ice cream, avoiding cookies and treats and candies. No duh. That's good. It's important. But there's plenty of other bad things that you can eat that's just as bad. Microwave burritos, peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, all of these processed, Americanized foods that is literally just gunk, chemical gunk, toxic goo that you're putting into your body. And because you're young, you don't really feel the effects. But the long-term effects is that you're not as tall as you could be. You're not as athletic as you could be. You are getting slower. Your brain's not developing as good as it could be. All these things are long-term effects that you are using up in a poor way because you're having to overcome all the garbage and the poor lifestyle and all the stuff that you're doing that's sabotaging your growth and development. So number 3, video games. Video games are a fake reality. It's nothing related to real life. And they create video games on purpose in a way to hijack the masculine instinct to conquer or to complete objectives, to have missions, to go on adventures. They hack this dopamine cycle to get you to sit in a chair inside a room under blue light, looking at a screen, hitting buttons, gathering coins on a screen. Do that in real life. Because real life is a 5-star video game. It's way better, and you can do way more. And I guarantee you, in your future coming very soon, there's a whole lot of things that you'll never see coming, that no video game developer could ever imagine, could ever fathom. So I need you to get ready for your future that's coming very, very soon. It's coming very fast, and no one's gonna wait for you. Number 4, in terms of football training, you need to play a lot more small-sided with good players. 5v5, indoor, futsal. That is where you develop and get best, your fastest. That's where you become a skilled, talented footballer. Not doing thousands of hours of cone drills and ball mastery and stuff in your garage. That stuff is great. Do it for half an hour. Do it for 20 minutes. Don't do it for hours and hours and hours and hours thinking that it's going to turn you into a champion. It's not. That stuff is like sharpening your sword. It does not teach you how to use the sword. You look stupid with the biggest, best, sharpest sword, but no idea how to use it. And that's what most footballers are in America. They got really sharp swords, but they got no idea how to use it because they haven't played enough football, enough small-sided. They don't know how to be an athlete. They can't swivel and ride challenges and move like a player. So you need to make the effort, push your comfort zone, and get out into the barrios, into the favelas, and play against players that are good, players that have experience on those courts already, because they're going to teach you the hard way. Next up, gym work. Number 1, bodybuilding does not help you become a better athlete. Bodybuilding also does not help you create and fill out the structure and the frame of your body, which should develop naturally on its own through the sleep and the food and the good lifestyle and the good training. Gym work is just a band-aid for men with insecurities, or boys. That creates muscle, that creates swollen muscles. It does not create more muscle. It just swells up the individual, the muscle fibers. Powerlifting, Olympic weightlifting, all of these different versions of gym work all come from a muscle-based paradigm based on 20, 30, 40-year-old science that does not understand integration. It doesn't understand fascia. It doesn't understand how the nervous system affects coordination and skill level and muscle recruitment and patterns of movement and biomechanics. I want you to be barefoot as much as possible. I want you to become one with your environment, to learn how to absorb force properly into your ankles through your fascial system, as opposed to getting insane calf burning and your big, thick quads. You want to create a holistic connection from the feet through the posterior chain into the pelvis, the abdomen, and eventually from the midline, from the pelvis up to your tongue up here. That is the core of athletic ability. Lastly, the grind mentality. I know it's so hard, it's so ingrained into most of us athletes. And I know it seems so logical. If I just work harder, I'll get better results. Well, the guy that's flipped cheeseburgers at McDonald's for 30 years never became a Michelin chef. He never became a better chef because he never learned new skills. He never learned to be a better chef. He just got good at the thing that he didn't want to do anymore. So he became the world's best chef at McDonald's, but still gets paid the minimum wage. If you want to become a legend of your craft, a master of your craft, you need to understand what your craft entails and have a clear, defined purpose. If you want to be a top footballer, you have to do the things that make you a top footballer. And what are those things? Well, you learn that by looking at the best players, well, what made them, not what they're doing now, not what they post on Instagram, not what the club has them doing, because the club has no idea how they were made, because the club just went and bought them from Brazil or bought them from a team they were already playing on. And the team that that had them in the first place, they just found the kid playing on the streets or put the best player in the area on their academy team. He played with other guys in the area and eventually grew into a good player. They don't have a clear, structured system of how a Messi or a Neymar or a Ronaldo is created from scratch, from the biological level. They don't have it. They literally don't have it because, again, they're based off, all their stuff is based off the same old science, outdated science, going off assumptions and theories about the human body. No one looks at what's actually succeeding out in nature. That is the truth, the proof in the pudding. That's where you see what actually works, not what volunteers in an 8-week study that has missing controls, that has no relation to what it takes to win at the highest level. Don't base your whole life off of that nonsense, off of that garbage. Because you'll have trainers, you'll have physios, you'll have coaches that all have their own issues from their whole life, that they'll just toss out a statement about this or that, hard work, about stretching, about yoga, about cone drills, about ball mastery, about different forms of gym work. Those guys don't care as much as you do. Those guys don't have their career on the line because they're done with playing. Or they were never good enough or even close to good enough of getting anywhere near the place that you can be at. So always look to a map, and that looks at the common denominators that all top athletes of all sports have in common. Those core key principles I call fundamental laws of nature, and they're all there hiding. They're all there in plain sight. It's not crazy. It's not crazy that Brazil keeps making tons and tons and tons of talented players. It's not crazy that the suburbs of France keep creating tons and tons of talented players because they're literally barefoot all day on the court playing 5v5, while all these American kids are going to a trainer doing cone drills, and then most of the day, they're playing video games or in school studying things that have no relation to their future, and ultimately doing the opposite of what it takes to be a winner, to be the best, to have the physical capacities to succeed, to get to the level where then we can talk about the mental side. And then from there, the mental side, I call it the smile. Everything you do in life, I want you to do it with a smile. I want you to do it with enjoyment. I want you to bring light to every single situation that you encounter, that you're part of. Every single person around you is better because they were in your presence. Bring light, bring delight, bring happiness, bring joy, bring a positive growth mindset to every single thing you do, and that will take you farther than anything else that I've said on this video. The more that you believe in your success, in your ability to grow and develop and to learn from your challenges, from your obstacles, from your experience, from your adventures, that will take you magnitudes farther than anything else in your life. And anyone that says anything different is a fool. Anyone that tells you that your potential is fixed is an idiot. They're lost. They want you to hold you back. They want you to be normal, to be average because they're average. And misery loves company. People want you to be next to them because of their suffering. Why don't you suffer with them? Why don't you enjoy the downfall? Why don't you be with us together on the ship going underwater? No, I want you to toss all that away. I want you to ignore people that are not on your wavelength, on your vibration, on your level. Whatever word that you want to use to describe it, I want you to stay on the straight line and focus on whatever brings you closer to your goals. And that goal better be a big one. I want you to think of the most vivid, the most large, the most grandiose objective that you can think of that gives you goosebumps. And I want you to put it into place. I want you to say, yes, I can do it, and here's how I'm gonna do it, and make a whole goddamn list and go execute on every little last thing that you put out there, because the more you do that, you are 1,000 times closer than any other fool anywhere else in the world, because you have a clear defined purpose, which most people will never have in their life because they wander aimlessly, letting the world tug the world pull, the world direct them into directions that they don't even want to go. But they do it because they don't want to deal with reality. So lastly, every time that you encounter reality, smile, say thank you, and enjoy every single step on this journey of a 5-star video game that we call life. That was a few things that I regret as a footballer coming up. My story, guys. There's many other stories in and amongst all those things that I talked about that I'm sure in the future we'll cover on a podcast or other videos. If you enjoyed this, guys, put some comments down below on other videos that you'd love to see from myself and my story. And if you enjoy more of this personal type dialogue, talking about, things that I wish I fixed in the past, and frankly, just me talking to my former self. Every single course that I've made, every single time that I work with a client, I'm just imagining, like, I wish I knew this stuff when I was in high school or, in the academy. I wish I could have avoided all this stuff, but it seems like I went through all this stuff so that I can help other players avoid the hardship and struggle that I went through. And that is more fulfilling than I would say most can imagine, because I can affect the lives of thousands, if not millions of people, whereas before it was just myself. So hope it helps, guys. Talk to you soon.